Manchester United are back, and it feels so good to say it one more time. We've talked about the Premier League, but the things that we haven't talked about in a very long time is some Manchester United news. You guys are excited, I'm excited, and hopefully Manchester United can kick off things with a very good bang. So let's hear all the news and what I expect from Manchester United going forward. Let's go. Till it shatters through the ocean. I wanna make shockwaves. I wanna make shockwaves with you. What's up, everybody? It's the Sports Code aka Aiden, and welcome back to another video. This is going to be a transfer news kind of video, as well as what I expect from Manchester United. So as things go on this channel, we're going to give you the news first and then my personal reactions later. And there's been a lot of good news for Manchester United as of late, and things are looking very positive. So before we get started on the actual video, please like and subscribe to the Sports Code YouTube channel. We are only 3 away as of this time to 50 subscribers, man. We're going to get there. The only problem is, the only matter of time, it's when is it going to happen, and hopefully it can happen sooner than later. So be sure, if you're new to the channel, to subscribe, and we'll start a community off of here, man. So without further ado, let's get started. So with Manchester United, the best thing that I can say, the most news I can say, is that obviously we are back in the Premier League. The Premier League is back, and that means Manchester United are back. Now, we all know this news, so I'm not going to go too much into it. You already see. If you guys haven't seen my Premier League is back video, check it out. You guys have seen how excited I am. But let's move on to the actual Manchester United transfer news. There's been a lot of news relating to transfers with Manchester United. We've had a lot of mixed reports from multiple outlets about Manchester United's budget, who will Manchester United want to sign, and the player quality that Manchester United are looking for in this time. We've had reports such as Ighalo is potentially leaving Manchester United to go back to his Shanghai team. And we've also had rumours that Manchester United will extend his loan until the end of the season if Shanghai are willing to accept. This is just one reported news for Manchester United and its fans to have to question about what's actually going to happen with Ighalo. There's been more news about Bellingham and Sancho. Bellingham and Sancho, obviously Manchester United's prime target. Really want him this summer, and I think they're desperate to get Bellingham and Sancho. There's been rumours that Jadon Sancho wants to leave Borussia Dortmund and will join Manchester United or Chelsea. That's a big step for Jadon Sancho. But again, these are reports. There's also been reports that Jadon Sancho will stay this season, and we'll hopefully try and get him next season, when probably his price will go down a little bit due to the number of years on his contract. There's some reports there as well. But the one that I really want to talk about, because I've talked about Jadon Sancho a lot this period. I've talked a lot about these potential signings. The one person I haven't really talked much about, and the one that I'm really excited about, if true, is Jude Bellingham. Now, I don't know much about this kid, but I know that he has the potential to be the best midfielder at his age, and also the best midfielder in the world. If we are able to get our hands on him, Manchester United will not regret it. Now, we all know Jude Bellingham wants to leave. We all know that Jude Bellingham will leave. The question is, which team will he go to? Now, there's 2 teams that are being talked about as the front runners for Jude Bellingham. One is obviously Manchester United. I wouldn't be talking about it if we're not one of the favourites to sign him. I believe Jude Bellingham is one of those players where he might not be the greatest at first. Obviously, joining from the Championship to the Premier League, the guy might have a little bit of his struggles, but he's performing very well at the age of 16 in the Championship, and he will definitely make Manchester United's first team sooner than later. So that's not going to be the question. The question is, will he pick us? Because the second team that's in the running for Jude Bellingham is obviously Borussia Dortmund, and we have this fight with Borussia Dortmund all the time, don't we? With Jadon Sancho, with Jude Bellingham. It seems that Borussia Dortmund want this player badly, and it looks favourite towards Borussia Dortmund at the moment. There's been multiple reports picking Jude Bellingham to go to Dortmund and to Manchester United, and sometimes even the same outlets are reporting that they're going to one's going to Dortmund, and then obviously he's coming to Manchester United the next day. We've seen this a lot with Manchester United reporting, and that's why it's so incredibly important that you guys do not take all these reports to heart, because it ends up will be a big disappointment if he picks Dortmund over us, and we all know and we all should accept that. But my advice is that don't take everything to heart. Don't listen to what everybody has to say. There are clearly credible people out there for Manchester United, and when they speak, then we can listen. But reports like Manchester Evening News, The Sun, all these outlets, they're not the best in terms of sources. So we should tread carefully with Jude Bellingham and Jadon Sancho. But of course, I'd love Jude Bellingham to come to Manchester United. That's a dream. That's a Manchester United signing in a nutshell. And so is Jadon Sancho. Players that are ready to take the next step and ready to prove that Manchester United can climb back to the top where we belong. And of course, you got to love a signing like that. That's a Manchester United signing. So those are the players, obviously, I wanted to talk about in terms of transfers. On to other news. Manchester United have returned to training. Now, what I mean by that is obviously they've been training for a while now, but it looks like the whole team's coming back to training, and it looks like they're starting to get their physical training back. There's going to be some physical competition between the players now, some actual action instead of just being self-distancing while training or training in multiple groups. Of course, there's still some speculation, there's still regulations that they have to follow, but in the meantime, it looks like full physical training is back, and we've seen a lot of happy players. We've seen the likes of Matic and Bruno having a little bit of some heat between them with some friendly banter. Obviously, Matic from Benfica and Bruno Fernandes from Sporting, they have a little rivalry going on there. The likes of Wan-Bissaka looking happy, Rashford training again, very exciting. And obviously, Manchester United, just seeing them train, knows that this is coming ahead very quickly. And it makes me smile to know that in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks time, we're going to see Manchester United play again. And to be honest, it couldn't come at a better time. Really, it couldn't. So, what do you guys think about them coming back to training? Obviously, we all know that Manchester United are a top team, and they keep in physical condition. They're required to do that, even in a social distancing situation like this, even in a self-isolation. They have to keep in physical shape. They have to keep in world-class shape. And I think that's what's going to stand out with Manchester United and all the top sides compared to the lower team sides in the Premier League. We're going to see the physical fitness of our players, and hopefully that will shine through more than any other team in the Premier League when we return. And yeah, that's the big news. That's the news for Manchester United at the moment. Of course, there are more, but there's so much transfer news I could give to you, but I don't want to give you the ones that I believe are complete garbage. There are so many, like swap deals for Pogba, Real Madrid want Pogba, all these rumors that I could just say, give the source, and then you guys can discuss. I just don't think Pogba's leaving, man. And I don't think that Saul Niguez is coming. I don't think that we're going to get Gareth Bale. I don't think any of these things. So I don't want to put them... Well, I already have, I guess, just now. But I don't want to put them in the public eye as much as they probably are, because it's just not true, man. It's not true. We're not going to get a swap deal going. It's so hard to do. We've only done one in recent history. I don't think we're getting a swap deal for anybody. It's just as simple as that. Anyway, moving on to what do I expect for Manchester United. Now, if I'm not mistaken, we've got Tottenham in our first game back in the Premier League. Now, this is going to be a different Tottenham that we verse. Tottenham Hotspurs have their players back. They have Harry Kane back. They have Son back. They're going to be a different team. And it's going to be fun to see Jose Mourinho versus Ole Gunnar Solskjaer once again. We obviously know that we took the first battle, but the war isn't won yet. And this is going to be a big game for Manchester United season. We're going to be playing a game every 4 to 5 days. So we're going to be seeing a lot of Manchester United when football comes back. So it's going to be good to see. But we need to start it off right, man. And I think we will start it off fairly good, to be honest. I think we're going to beat Tottenham. And that's going to be big if we can, because top 4 is still a competition, is still a fight that we have to win to make the Champions League. As good as 5th is, as good as winning the Europa League is, to be honest, the security lies within top 4. This is our safest bet. And if we go for top 4 and we get top 4, then we're guaranteed a Champions League spot. And I think that's the most important thing. I don't want to rely on a 5th place Manchester City ban to take us to the Champions League. Whatever happens, if we make the Champions League, that's great. Doesn't matter where we finish, if we finish in a Champions League spot. but I don't want to rely on Manchester City to get banned for us to make it. I want to make it and feel like I physically earned it, or feel like they physically earned that spot. I feel like Manchester United players would agree with that, to be honest. I don't think they would settle for 5th when they can go for 4th. They can even go for 3rd. So I hope we can go and beat Tottenham, and we can send a strong message out to the rest of the league that we are here. Obviously, we have returning players. I said before, Rashford looks like he will play, which is incredible. We've given him a lot of time, and that's the best part. He was meant to come back in May, and it's basically May, the end of May now. So he's gotten more than a month. More than what we were probably going to give him to actually rest up, make sure everything is physically okay. We gave him the time he needs. He's probably not going to start right off the gate as well. I expect him to be on the bench against Tottenham, to be honest, or if he starts, he might have to come off. But besides that, I feel like we're going to have a full, healthy Manchester United team. We're going to have our best players playing in their positions that we need. Now, the question is the formation. The formation, we might have some time to experiment with a new formation. And the reason why I bring this up is because we have a very attacking side at the moment. So obviously you have the defense, which has set itself. Our defense is probably one of the best in the Premier League. We do concede goals, but we also keep a lot of clean sheets. And if we do concede goals, it's about 1 goal, which is not too bad. We should still be keeping a lot more clean sheets. But at the end of the day, our defense speaks for itself. We have some great defenders, man, and I think they can hold their own. We have Nemanja Matic holding. We also have Fred. We have a lot of players that can do that holding position. But we have Pogba and Bruno Fernandes now. We have 2 attacking midfielders that can go and create something. We have some of the fastest players in our forward line with Martial, Rashford and Daniel James. We have creative players. Obviously Bruno, you have Pereira if he comes in, you have Mata. Obviously these players shouldn't be playing in Premier League big games, but they can do something against the smaller teams. So we do have a very good attacking team at the moment, and it's very surprising because a few years ago, if you told me we had one of the best attacking teams, I would laugh in your face. But now I believe that we have some of the best attacking players that Manchester United have had in a very long time. And it's funny because they're basically the same players we had a few years ago with the addition of 1 player. But besides the point, they've grown and they've performed better, and now Manchester United have played better for that. And I hope we can show how good at attacking we can be, and maybe a formation change to a 4-3-3 wouldn't be the worst idea here. Maybe not against Spurs, but maybe against a smaller team, maybe against a team where we're comfortable, and maybe we can go and try something and maybe do an experiment. Or in the FA Cup, if we're really not taking the FA Cup seriously, we can do an experiment there. Either way, Manchester United, that's what I expect. I expect a full, healthy, attacking Manchester United when we come back. I don't want to settle for a 4-2-3-1, park the bus against Tottenham. I don't want to settle for lackluster, creating 1 opportunity and getting 1 goal and then nicking a 1-0 win. I don't want to see that. I want to see fast attacking play. Live by the sword and die by the sword. If we lose to Tottenham, but we're full attacking, we're bringing exciting plays, and we're becoming the Manchester United that we need to be, then I could settle for a loss. I truly, 100% in my heart believe that. I could settle for a loss if we're playing the right way. But sometimes, playing the right way will result in victories that you can't even imagine. We've played well against the likes of Manchester City and Chelsea. Obviously, we played very well against teams like that. But the difference is, we had to play very defensive to beat these teams. Maybe not so much with Chelsea, but with Manchester City, we played so defensive to the point where I'm surprised we could even score 2 goals against them. That just shows how bad their defense is. But Manchester United, I want a different Manchester United. Even if we're versing the best teams in the world, I want to play our way. I want to play a style that I'm proud of, that they're proud of, that we all could be proud of. And I hope that's what we get out of Manchester United in this time of its return. We take football for granted sometimes, and maybe we take our style of play for granted a little bit. But I'm hoping that things can change, obviously, with football coming back, and we're all going to be happy to see it. So that's going to be the end of this video. What did you guys think? Did you enjoy the video? Is Manchester United ready for the comeback? Do you think that our full healthy team can beat Tottenham? Obviously, most people will say yes to that one, but it's going to be interesting to see what Manchester United we're going to see when the time comes. Anyway, Please like and subscribe if you're new. Share the video with as many people as you can. Many people that will be interested. It will really help out as well. And it'll also start a community here, which is the ultimate goal, man. The ultimate goal. Anyway, have a wonderful and safe day. The Red Devils are back, and so am I. Take care, and peace.
Shockwaves with you.